Mazel tov, everybody. And welcome to the Simchas Mitzvah of Natan. We are so excited to be celebrating together. On behalf of Rachel and I'd like to begin first by expressing our heartfelt hakaras hatov to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for bringing us to this moment. Thanks to all of you, our dear family and friends, who have come from near and far to share in our simcha. You all mean so much to us, and we are delighted to be celebrating together. A special thank you to those who helped make the simcha. You know who you are, and we could not have done it without you. Thank you. I'd also like to thank all of our rabbanim in attendance, who have played such an important and large role in our family and in Natan's growth. Thank you so much. We'd like to especially express our gratitude to our parents, Mommy and Daddy, Ima and Abba. Thank you for not only doing so much for us on a regular basis, but more so for being the role models Rachel and I constantly strive to emulate. Whatever nachas we bring to you is truly the fruits of your own labor, and we hope it continues for many more years to come. I'd also like to recognize my Zayda here with us today, who should live and be well. With Hashem, we'll continue to celebrate many, many more simchas together. And we, of course, also want to mention our grandparents who are not here physically with us, but we know are celebrating with us in spirit, including my Bubby and Zadie Lipschitz and Bobby Gersmer, and Saba and Safta Nof, and Bubs and Zayd Deutsch. We hope to continue to make you proud. Last, but certainly not least, I'd like to express my deepest gratitude and love to my Aisha Style Rachel. Not only did you plan every aspect of this simcha, but you did it with so much care and dedication, all while working and being the best wife and mother our family could ever ask for. Thank you, thank you, thank you. As we celebrate this beautiful simcha, I think it's important not to forget the profound pain that our brothers and sisters in Eretz Yisrael are going through. Recognizing the tragedy, thinking of the fallen soldiers and hostages, while at the same time fully celebrating our simcha is not a contradiction. It is simply what it means to be a Jew. So before we begin, I'd like to recite some Tehillim together. You have the names? Everybody has the names, okay. Okay, we all should have names of some of our hostages and fallen soldiers, if you all can all keep them in mind. Shir Lamalo, Sasainai Hare, Me'aini Goazri. Ezri Me'im Adonai, Yosei Shemayim Ba'aretz. Al Yiteim Amod Rabbecha, Yonam Shomrecha. Hine Lo Yonam Lo Yisham, Shomer Yisrael. Adonai Shomrecha, Adonai Tzilcha, Yad Yaminecha. Yomam Hashemesh Lo Yakeka, V'yareach B'layla. Adonai Yishmorcha mikol ra, Yishmor Nafshecha. Adonai Yishmor Tziva'oecha mi'atav Yerolam. Shir Ma'alos, Ma'amakim Kersimcha Adonai. Adonai Shema V'koli, Tien Aznecha, Kashavos V'altach Adonai. Im Avonos Tishmar Yam, Nemi Amor. Ki V'cha Slicha, Leman Tivarei. Ki v'isi Adonai Kivsa Nafshi, V'dvaro Chalti. Nafshi Adonai Shomer Laboker, Shomer Laboker. Yachel Yisrael Adonai, Ki Maranei Chesed, Rabbein Movedos. V'hu Yivdes Yisrael Michal Amosa. Achim Kol Beis Yisrael, Mosa Motzar, V'shem Yom. Ashur Avoz Makarvim, Yom Rabbein. Thank you. If anyone has been to our home recently, you'll notice a new piece of art hanging in our living room. It is a vibrant, colorful depiction of the old city of Yerushalayim. Every time I look at it, I can't help thinking about the last time I was there. This past year, I had the schus to join Rabbi Markowitz, Rabbi Donath, and over 40 community members on a solidarity trip to Israel, where we met with wounded soldiers, hostage families, and bear witness to the atrocities of October 7th. This trip was especially meaningful for me because joining me was my Bechar, our bar mitzvah boy Natan. I was there for his first time leaving the U.S., his first time seeing our homeland, his first time tearing Kriya and davening Masikim at the Kotel, and even his first time eating McDonald's. It was an incredibly powerful few days, and at the conclusion of our trip, Natan and I went to catch our last mincha at the Kotel. As we left the Kotel Plaza to grab a cab back to the hotel, rather than waiting in the long line, I was going to outsmart the crowd and figured I'd find a cab just outside the old city walls. This turned out to be an epic fail, because Natan and I ended up walking about an hour out of the way along the entire perimeter of the old city. Now, it was a little stressful at the time, but it dawned on me that thousands of years earlier, there was another father and son pair who walked that very same path, making this unexpected detour much more meaningful. The image is haunting. A man and his son walking side by side. The son has no idea where he's going or why. The man knows exactly where he's going and why, but he can't make sense of it all. The man's name is Abraham. He's devoted to Hashem, who gave him a son, and is now telling him to sacrifice that son. On the one hand, he's full of fear. Am I really going to lose the son for whom I prayed all those years? On the other hand, part of him is saying, just as the child was impossible, I was old, my wife was too old, yet here he is. Though it seems impossible, I know that Hashem is not going to take him from me. He would never have told me to call his name Yitzchak, meaning he will laugh, if he meant to make us cry. Vayelchu shnehem yachdav. The pasuk says the two of them walk together. The father is in a state of absolute cognitive dissonance, yet he trusts in Hashem and betrays no sign or emotion to his son. Vayelchu shnehem yachdav. The two of them walk together. We refer to this episode as Akedas Yitzchak. But what was Yitzchak's perspective? What was he thinking during this daunting test? There's just one moment of conversation between Yitzchak and Abraham that gives us some insight into what's going on. It's actually the only recorded conversation between Abraham and Yitzchak in the Torah. Yitzchak says to his father, Avi, my father. Abraham replies, Hineni, yes, I'm here with you, my son. Yitzchak says, Hinei ha'esh v'ha'etzim, v'ha'yeh hased ha'olam. The fire and the wood are here, but where is the lamb for the carbon? Abraham answers, Hashem himself will provide the land for the carbon, my son. Implying that you, my son, will be the carbon that Hashem provides. Then the pasuk goes on to repeat, Vayelchu shnehem yachdav, the two of them walk together. According to Rashi, this repetition emphasizes that just as before this conversation, Yitzchak didn't know what they were doing, but he wanted to fulfill Hashem's command. Also now, after the realization that he would likely be the carbon, he still walked together with his father, b'ratzon u'b'simcha, with a unified purpose. Rabbi Markowitz shared a beautiful insight with me from Rav Shantron Rafal Hirsch. He quotes a Gemara in Sanhedrin, which addresses the topic of a Navi Sheker, a false prophet. Gemara explains that if a Navi does not provide some sign or miracle when sharing his prophecy, then it's possible he's in fact a Navi Sheker, a false prophet. This prompts the question, when Yitzchak realizes that Abraham plans to sacrifice him based on the claim that Hashem told Abraham to do so, why didn't Yitzchak suspect Abraham might be a Navi Sheker? Abraham provided no miracle and no signs. The Gemara answers that Yitzchak believed his father not on the strength of some miracle intended to convince him, but on the strength of what he, the son, already knew of his father's character. Yitzchak at this point was no longer a child, but a 37-year-old independent man. And in many ways, his test was far greater than Abraham's. Abraham was commanded from the Melech Malchei Amlachim, from the mouth of the Borei Olam himself. As confusing as the command was, he could not disobey Hashem's direct will. Yitzchak, on the other hand, was merely following his father's directive. If Avram's nevuah was Torah shebechsav, Yitzchak's acceptance of his father's words was Torah shebal peh. Rav Hirsch explains that this trust and faith that we have in our fathers and in our ancestors is the basis for our Masorah and is what keeps us united and strong as a nation. Vayelchu shnehem yachdav, the two of them walk together. I can't think of any more important message to share with you, Natan, on your bar mitzvah. You are here because of the sacrifices, hard work, strength of character, bitachon, and love of Torah of those who came before us. You have an incredible foundation of values passed down to you through the generations from the people who knew right from wrong and were exceedingly loyal to their family and to their bone shul. My Zayden, who you are named for, Rav Natan lived through some of the darkest hours in history and lost everyone and everything he held dear. Yet through it all, he held firmly to his emunah and Masorah, to his hopes and dreams of building a brighter future for his children and grandchildren. You, Natan, are that brighter future. My bracha to you is that Hashem always gives you the insight to tell light from dark, good from evil, and right from wrong. Asher Natan, asech vina lavhin ben yom uven laila. That you always recognize all the good Hashem gives you and take the time to thank Him for it. That you understand that being a Ben Torah is the greatest privilege and responsibility that a Jew could ask for. It requires a lifelong effort and is something to be cherished. Baruch hu Elokeinu shebranu l'chodo v'hudu lanu Natan v'natan lanu Torah sames v'chayei olam v'atah v'sochim. Finally, my bracha to you is that we continue to walk together. Vayelchu shnehem yachdav, both father and son, recognizing those who came before us and the responsibility we have to write the next chapter of our Masorah. Mazel tov. Now I would like to welcome the man of the hour, our bar mitzvah boy, to share some words and to make a scene for all of us.